Now, Barris and Mbeseha, you already started talking about this. Looking at it from a legal perspective, how can you interpret a so-called national celebration that appears visibly coerced rather than voluntary and even staged a day early to secure footage in a territory where the population has consistently rejected French Cameroon's authority? We wonder, does this kind of preemptive forced civic display signal any lawful governance, or does it reflect a state that is losing its grip and resorting to optics over legitimacy? Would you agree to that?
But the other segment, something you said in this segment, this lady dying in the hospital in Yaoundé. Now, this woman is not just an ordinary woman like you and me. She's a medical. She died at the University Teaching Hospital in Yaoundé. And so, if the type of ex that this medical doctor was, not that, but in a university teaching hospital, not because of any difficulties, but because of negligence. What do you expect from that country? And the I hear you say that the medical, whatever thing they have, the association has said they are making an inquiry. To do what? To know how she died. As stupid as that sounds, I don't know how educated these people are. Over the years, have they ever investigated as a medical corps the competence of that so-called university teaching hospital? Have they gone there? Have they ever verified whether they have the necessary equipment? Whether they have the really trained experts to work in the university teaching hospital? They have never investigated all that. If they ever did, we don't find any report anywhere. And this poor man dies, they want to investigate, they write a report, and so they would do what? Would that bring her back to life? Would that change the institution? It would not change anything. But we must be reminded that Cameroon, in the past 20 years under Paul Biya, they have dotted every small school in every region or province a medical school. Of all those numerous medical schools, Douala, Bamenda, Buea, everywhere, there's only one teaching hospital in the whole Cameroon. That's one in Yaoundé. And then you ask if this one could even die in a university teaching hospital. Where's the university teaching hospital of Bamenda? In the medical school. Where's the university teaching hospital of the Buea medical school? That's been there for close to 30 years. They have nothing. And then they think that we can ever live with these people. No, no. And so that is where they are. Let me come back to the story of the so-called youth day. Say, the youth day, so-called, the first thing that we should detest, until the kingdom come, is your Ambazonia, is to clean out a call, certain call they brought to us that never existed. Some people got to school, they took them to something they call Enam Yaoundé, train them how to manufacture lies, train them how to manufacture theft, train them how to defend the indefensible. And then they gave them presidential decrees and they became chef d'etat. And they manufacture any story to sell it to the public. Because what you read there, staging a youth day parade in advance, 24 hours before or 30 days before, is the work of this group of criminals called themselves administrators. Why must they do? They know they are lying. They are lying, they know it themselves. But why are they persisting in doing it? They persist in doing it because they are paid for that lying. They are paid for that propaganda, that harmful propaganda to the people. Do you need to ask why? If this thing is such a good thing, why must it be done in private? Why must it not be done publicly? Most particularly in Ambazonia. Why? Why must they go into hiding to make your child to march up and down and right? Because they want to pretend that there was a youth day celebration, whereas there was none. But good enough, I think. All Ambazonians, let me forget about the people. All Ambazonians know this story. People who know very little or nothing about it are the people of the people of Cameroon. Because go there and ask from the university professor, ask from the high school teacher who are parading around as teachers and marching children with. What does 11 February mean? They will not tell you why. They don't even know about this. They don't know. Nobody's ever taught them that history. And they're not bound to be taught. Because 11th February, that eventually became Youth Day, was exclusively something for Ambazonians. Called Southern Cameroon. The people did the teach schools. Brother. I'm sure not even a single paragraph. And so they do all this, and what would happen? They say if nothing took place in Ambazonia, for example, if there was not much past there, if there was no celebration there, they would tell them no, it took place in Garawa. So Garawa Douala all those input they are the majority. For some to the British High Commissioner in Yaoundé, who knows what, who is very aware of the history. They say those were pictures of what they paraded in Betua or somewhere in Douala to the Americans. To where the country is going. In its entirety, everything works. And then they will add, every country has its own problems. Now, what happened in Burundi, it's nothing. It's just 1/10. It is just like in our country. That narrative they are trying to sell. But has this narrative worked? It has not worked. Will it work? It will not work. But will they continue to do it? They will continue to try to do it. But again, I had the opportunity to explain this. Youth Day that they celebrate today was celebrated in 1964 by the French government throughout Southern Cameroon, West Cameroon then, as the national youth as the Empire Day. On that particular event, 1964, the French government invited Ahijo to come and witness what they were doing. Ahijo did not come, but he sent in Charles Asale, their prime minister. Ahijo did not come, but he sent in the Speaker of the National Assembly to come and witness what we were doing. And it is when they saw it that they thought it was so good. And then they imagined that this thing is too good. It should not belong to West Cameroon. We better steal it. And so 2 years into it, Ahijo called franchise, look, let us make this thing a national.